The first one is an economic argument. According to the Greater Wellington website, the reason why fluoride is added to the water is for the good dental health of the citizens. So I'm just going to break down some numbers that also come from your website. If you just scroll down to water use there, you supply, for the resident population of 380,000 people, approximately 400 liters per resident per day. So let's break that down. Water usage, 400 liters per day per person. The recommended drinking water from the Mayo Clinic and other medical associations suggests drinking water approximately 2.5 liters per day that you consume, which means from your 400 liters that you deliver, 2.5 liters are being drunk, and 397.5 liters are being poured down the drain for the washing, for the garden, etc., etc. So that means of your water delivery, 0.625% of that water is actually going on the teeth, which is the reason why you claim to do it. The other 99.375% is going down the drain into the environment. So if you break down the economic cost of fluoridating water, which according to your website is $195,000 a year, the actual amount going on the teeth is $1,200. The other $193,781 is going down the drain. So if that's the reason for good dental health, that you fluoridate the water, economically I don't think it makes much sense. So let's flip over to the other side, the environmental argument that I have. According to your website, you adjust the water fluoride from 0.7 milligrams per liter and 1.0 milligrams per liter. And that's a chemical called sodium silicon fluoride, according to your website. And so if we just look at the breakdown of water usage and impact fluoridation, 2.5 liters per day per person is drunk. And while using the low number, 0.7 milligrams per liter that you add to the water. So that means 1.75 milligrams of fluoride is actually ingested per person per day. But of the 397.5 liters that's being poured down the drain, 278.25 milligrams of fluoride is dumped per person per day in Wellington. You multiply that by the population of Wellington, and you get 105 kilograms dumped per day. Per year, it's almost 40,000 kilograms. So to conclude, I don't think it makes much economic sense. If all that water is going down the drain, I don't see how fluoridating the water actually improves the good dental health if such a small percentage goes on the teeth. And environmentally, if that much fluoride which is being added to the water is actually being dumped into the environment, I think we have to just question the practice. Thank you.
And this is really, really interesting that we are not given any data whatsoever by the Department of Health on how much it actually costs. We've asked, and they just say, no, it's very, very efficient. It's much more efficient than building dental surgeries or paying dentists or anything like that. And the data they give is that, well, it doesn't actually cost that much to buy this industrial waste. But luckily, thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, we actually obtained the invoice. And they are only paying CSBB around $350,000 a year to take their industrial waste off their hands and put in your drinking water. However, the devil is in the detail, because that is remarkably cheap. Really, when you actually look at the infrastructure you need for that very, very toxic substance, the figures become very different. And the only figures we have, when they try to medicate the angioedema rods, and that argument is we're still fighting that one. But they put in the paper that it was costing around $400,000 to $500,000 to put in the infrastructure for angioedema rods, and another $50,000 a year to keep the medication going. Now, angioedema rods have a population of around 5,000. And we're talking about that scale of infrastructure across the whole of metropolitan Perth and many regional centres. 95% of WA's population is medicated this way. That is outrageously expensive. How many dental surgeries could we have for that? How many dentists could we be training and having working? We'd be giving every child in this state free toothpaste and free dental checkups. But no, we're putting industrial waste in the water supply, medicating you in an arbitrary way, and ruining the environment at the same time. How ridiculous is that? You know, what would a Nobel Prize laureate in chemistry know about medical ethics or anything like this? Likewise, a Nobel laureate in medicine, obviously conspiracy theorist or something. But luckily there is a local angle here. We have the UWA angle. Interesting enough, the West Australian didn't publish this one either. It wasn't a good enough local angle, apparently. But he was quite categorical. And this was in the Journal of Medical Ethics. So you can't get any higher than that when it comes to medical ethics. And he quite clearly said there is largely insignificant differences and it is highly questionable. So why do it? That is the question. And I think the ethical argument boils down to this. If just one person in our community is being adversely affected by this, it is wrong. Because we have not given our consent to be medicated, and there is no way of opting out. Now, the Nuremberg Code is the preeminent code of international medical ethics. How much of this applies to fluoridating your water? Are you at liberty to bring the experiment to an end? As far as I'm aware. Are you being monitored? Is there probable cause that there is danger? Well, as we've shown you, there are 35 studies alone on humans which show an adverse effect to IQ, and then there's the thyroid, then there's the bone cancer, then there's male fertility, and the environment. So there is probable cause. This is why we must say no. It is a breach of all codes of medical ethics to medicate the population in this way. Its benefits are topical. Brushing your teeth works, drinking does not. It has proven adverse medical effects. All these papers are available for you to read on our website. This is industrial waste that you are paying for to go into your drinking water and to destroy your environment. And it discriminates against those with low incomes because they can't even afford to opt out in any way. As we've shown, it is monumentally inefficient, and Lord knows how much they are spending in the state, because they won't tell us, but it will be in the tens of millions a year to put this water Camshaft 2 obscenity to go away. And that money could be reinvested in much more effective ways. And all this for 0.6 of a tooth surface out of 128 tooth surfaces in your mouth. How ridiculous is that? And if there is doubt, keep it out. There is clearly doubt. Therefore, it must be stopped. This is not the biggest issue out there. I'll be the first to admit there are many other pressing issues in our society. But this is the easiest one for us to finish. Because all we have to do is stop putting it in, as Dr. Connick said, turn the tap off. Stop putting it in, it's all over. This is an easy one for us to fix. And we can be a bit more like the rest of the world. So how can you help? This is roll your passions in a modicum amount compared to Derek and myself. You can get involved. We've got a petition down the front that we will be presenting to Parliament in the next few months, hopefully, once we've got enough. And you can download that petition as well on our website, and you can get your friends to sign it as well. But please do sign the petition. Follow us online. We're a very good online community. Introduce us to your local MPs. As I said before, the only way this is going to stop is by parliamentarians up at the State Government House voting to repeal the 1966 Act. It's not going to happen any other way. The Fluoride Committee is certainly never going to turn around and say, do us out of a job. They're never going to advise the Minister of Health and therefore stop. And your local MP, being the very nature of being an MP, they will want to meet with you, their constituent. Please do introduce us. We would love to talk to individual MPs. There are a lot of them, and this is lost in the noise. They're not hearing this message, but it is an important message. If more MPs come on board, or a number of them are already publicly on board, we will be able to force the issue in Parliament and get it happening. If nothing else, talk to your friends and family. Tell other people about this. Now, we've got a good attendance here today. I would love 5 times this amount. Talk to your friends and family. Spread the word. This is an important issue that's affecting every single person, or 95% of our population. And better still, if you're really, really wound up about this, join the campaign team. Many hands make light work. At the moment, it's just a small handful of us doing everything, lobbying the politicians, doing the online work, trying to get the media interested. That's how we do that. And all the other things we need to do. So please, if you have spare time and you'd like to get involved in any way, please do see us afterwards. Again, we've got a form up front for that with your contact details. All our online websites, the meetup page, where we announce a lot of all our public meetings, but also our campaign meetings, but also we've got a full research archive there. All the peer-reviewed papers we've talked about today and hundreds of others are all referenced there, and you can go and do your own research, as well as lots of other informative videos. The Facebook page, I'm sure many of you will have seen that already. Good way of us keeping the campaign. But we're also getting now attention from some trolls. And one of the interesting things in the most recent minutes from the Fluoride Committee was that they are going to be employing a PR company to campaign against us. So whether that's having an effect on Facebook, I don't know. But if you do see some people who go, you're all conspiracy theories, you all have tinfoil hats, please do shoot them down in flames. In fact, there was a very, very good article in the European Journal of General Dentistry only this week, and that's another conspiracy magazine, obviously, which quite categorically said the time for fluoridation of water supplies has passed. It is ridiculously inefficient. There are proven side effects. It must stop. It's the European Journal of General Dentistry. And if you ever have somebody who argues, says, oh no, it's perfectly safe, you're mad, just send them a link to that. You can find them on our Facebook page and the meetup page. And also we're on Twitter, if anybody uses that.
Just a brief mention on the website itself, and though it doesn't actually exist at the moment, it just diverts to the Facebook page. Please do check it out because we're in the process of building it, so hopefully we'll nicely put together for you to refer to. And the other point of reference is Dr. Bennett's book. If you actually wanted to have everything submitted in one spot to refer to, you can download this even for a couple of bucks. I think I've seen on one of those app stores. You can have it at hand, so all the reference material, all the peer-reviewed public scientific materials at your fingertips, not some conspiracy website bloggers or Facebook's experts, as I call it. Everybody becomes an expert on Facebook. In any case, if you only knew then what we know now, you can do the same.
Okay. So, that's the end of the presentation. Has anybody got any questions that I'd like to ask Eric myself? Or we'll stun you all. Yes, lady.
What did Dr. McDonald say about fluoride intake in conjunction with insufficient iodine?
There is some studies which are showing a link between iodine and fluoride, and the more iodine you have, the worse the effects of fluoride.
I think the medical experts can explain it in some more detailed language, but I think the issue is that iodine deficiency is linked to the thyroid function deficiency. So if you compare the those two together and you put fluoride into this, and fluoride could be actually affecting the thyroid function, which compromises the deficiency in iodine absorption. But we're not experts, so please talk to your doctor about that. It's a valid question.
Fluoride are both allergens.
Yeah.
So they mimic each other. So that's part of the problem.
I'm sure some people will know more about the particular detail about the medication.
And many people ask, why do we do this? We're not medical professionals, no vested interest in that. Because it's the right thing to do. This is morally and ethically wrong to continue with this. And that is why we feel so passionate about it, because it's such an easy thing for us to fix.
Well, we have children.
And we have children.
Is the when you present the petition to Parliament, can we go in there and support as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll certainly publicise it when we are going to do that. We just need to get as many signatures as possible. And we're yet going to establish what's the kind of cut-off point, how many thousands do we need. But the more the better is the moral of the story. Yes, gentlemen for that.
What is the most efficient way to provide fluoride-free drinking water for yourself and your family at present?
There's reverse osmosis filters, which the manufacturers will claim will remove fluoride or most of it. There's spring water and bottled water manufacturers that will claim this as well. We're not obviously advocating any particular organisation. Our hospital spring sponsors today, certainly I personally buy